Now you see the difference? You ready to be the one?
I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. Yeah. All I ever wanted was a rollie. All I ever wanted was a rollie. Cooler than a snowman with the ice all on me. Now me. My rollie don't tick tock, it just glide. Keep staring at it and you might go blind. I be moving, don't even try. All I see is bears, I spy. Yeah, that way. I need that move on by Tuesday.
State Warriors.
Yeah, that way. I low key feel like funk sway. I just now got started. Got views, I'm popping. My diamonds gone. Yo, that gets a party. I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in
Let's start creating your look. Let's complete your player info. Your background sets the stage for who you are, both on and off the court.
cooler than a snowman with the ice all on me.
Blue face, rollie, red face, rollie, ayy. Purple face, rolling like some Teletubbies, ayy. Baby diamonds wet, shining like some.
Your hairstyle says a lot about your look. Let's choose yours.
Pull up to the mall and I'm flexing on you. Jaleo in the cut and he got them buffies, White sticks got me going crazy, ayy. You lie me, cut me, probably, baby, ayy. Ice on my neck cost like 5K. I wanna build just like karate chop like a sensei. Ayy, pull off up in the Rari, oh a bit.
I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance. Have you looking at it, put you in a trance. I just wanna rollie with a dapper ranch. I already got some designer to hold on my pants. I just want some ice on my wrist so I look better when I dance.
Beard, scruff, or clean shaven, your path to facial hair greatness starts here.
All I ever wanted was a rollie. Cooler than a snowman with the ice all on me. Now I just wanna
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already, now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player type: guard, wing, or big.
I don't really care if you cry. I don't really shouldn't ever lie. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die.
Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have on the court.
Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. Phantom, that's alright. Inside all white, like something you ride a sled. I just want that. My brilliant, I'm mad.
Now, it's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in.
She say I'm insane, yeah, I wanna bring ya. Me up the brain, yeah. Please, make it go away. I'm committed, not addicted, but it keep controlling me. Out of pain, I can feel it, I swear that it's slowing me. Yeah, I don't really care if you cry. I don't really should've never lied. Saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said I am not afraid to die. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. Yeah. All my friends are dead. Yeah. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Yeah. All my friends are dead. Yeah. That is not your swag. I swear you fake on. Y'all ain't wanna take my kid on. Red on, that is stone. Red on. Yeah. Mess on. Look. Test on. Fast car. Nice car. Red song. In the club they got no ones that we won't back down. Yeah. Clothes from overseas. Got them racks and they all see. No, to you it's not a cheat. Oh, looking at your stacking, look your money, it all greed. Oh, I was counting that is all 20. That's a G, bro. She say, you're the worst. You're the worst. I cannot die. This is my universe. I don't really care if you cry. I don't really shouldn't ever lie. Should've saw the way she looked.
Now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player type: guard, wing, or big. Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have on the court.
Push me to the edge.
Chase. Hey, I like a bad doctor. I ain't got.
Now, it's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in.
Like a bad doctor, I ain't got no patience. I'm gonna work for months, I won't take vacation. Chasing all this paper, chasing all this paper, chasing. I'm like a bad doctor, I ain't got no patience. I'm gonna work for months, I won't take vacation. Cause I'm chasing all this paper, chasing.
I don't care about the mothers. We come from nothing, they was never with us. Tell Kyle love it if they ever get us out of town, pumping with 11. You want this Cuban, you would never get it. Couple 100,000, I'll never spend it. Sneak this and I was never with it. I got money coming, I ain't never tripping. Fergie, your boy on a paper chase. All of these diamonds, they look like a lake, and I'm mixing Margiela with bathing Navy. I put in the Gatorade. I walk in the club and the stop. Can't pronounce what I put out the car lot. Emotional be all in they feelings, just killing they hit a soft spot. In the jungle, I got Tiger in me. Fake pages, you cannot offend me. Jumping out of form from without a penny. Had a
Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal, It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson, this serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one-and-dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max. The woe is me. Oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one-and-dones or this should be one-and-dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be one-and-dones. Some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like, Stephen A. Smith, are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max, bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Now, you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. You're pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
That's exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Height brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Height brothers was something special. What they really, really need to do. I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
major impact. YOX moving, I made your head crack. We all over the place, my new name is now when you get back. JL don't stand for John Lee, short for jet lag. Bag weighed by 60 pounds, old clothes when I left. Marking the Buick back where we left at. Grab a couple, flush and then rush down the left rack. I don't care where the next at, as long as they take care of the team with couple green bottles. In the check fat, underground king money coming in like a Bumby. You're doing your thing when you see 4 seasons in 1 week. You know you want a streak when the rest weak, but you keep. Shot a video last week in the streets of East Village. Scold young and he ain't lower as the pass. The I don't give a mental will only get you caught fast. You have to be on point, especially when you rock the Yox mask. Represent that next level, you must have forgot that.
I'm the moment they finally show you the monster's face. You're not gonna wanna miss this. This is neither the time or the place for convincing. This is win-wins. Reinvented the methods we been this since. Clicking ink in the kid pics and getting my kick for sticking up at the big kids. What a lesson. I wasn't meant to be nothing but upper level. Everything up in the level of thinking. Ever since 7 rings, never predicted surviving in any conditions. An ox can roam around and keep going for any distance. So Yox can go on tour and then tour again in a blink. And make an album in the winter, then tour again till it's Christmas. This is what you wanted, right? That 9-5 sound, and you astounded. Cause now you found some guys who finally done it right. We got a name that you'll be hearing a lot. Now welcome to the decade of the year of the ox.
Yo, people gonna talk, I don't care, so I let them carry on. We bout to be in the air, me and Jay are carrying the carry on.
Drinking a Perrier, reclining a chair, and we already off. Why's your hand in the air?
Cause I need them every on.
Your attitude gets shifted when your altitude gets lifted.
They ain't mad at you cause you gifted, they just mad they haven't did it. It's a different kind of when they shouted lines as you kick it.
And it's a different type of fly when you know your rhymes bought the ticket.
Stay flying.
International demand for the yachts.
Landed in Canada, still got Hawaiian sand in my socks.
Still got them standing in shock, still can't manage to walk.
A still picture couldn't capture just how bananas it got you.
About as nutty as Buddy Love from the Nutty Professor was. Without a to give about the damage it brought.
And without a to give about what anyone knows, things are going where we said it would go. Swagger Wax.
Back and forth, like, don't know what you asking for, but just back and forth, like, but this your man still back at home, he ain't that important, like, you ain't really seen it like that before, not like that before,
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem. play of the game.
Who the number one rocker? All about the bread like it's chala. Know my ladies like a sauna. Know they all rockin' Rosanna. No fighting, you don't want wahala. No I'm about to got that chopper. Burn until your head act proper. Overseas money get a lotta. Pounds, naira, dollar. 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 Pounds, naira. Just raise your hands up when you feel the bass, yeah. Pounds, naira, dollar. Pounds, naira, dollar. Pounds, naira, dollar. Pounds, naira. Stop, I say, word to my soul, get happy in the bed. In night, gotta be like waiting day. Looking for the bad things in the UK. Worldwide with it, it's a new day. I'ma get airplay in a new way. See you going ham, know that it got you. Got the whole globe singing pounds, naira, dollar. 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 Pounds, naira,
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this and sworn like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this with new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just killed this cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. Food that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again. The sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how